You know, it's absolutely amazing that before the popularity of social media, many of us were blissfully unaware of how truly uninformed and possibly just uneducated many people are on this world and are just freely roaming about sharing their opinions. But thankfully, social media has solved that problem. So we are now able to tell how many people truly are in need of a good education and just basic information. Because no, not all men protect bad men. That is absolutely the most ludicrous thing I have ever heard. But yet, apparently someone thought it was a good idea to post it on social media. Because anyone with the slightest bit of common sense would tell you that there are thousands, if not millions, a person could go so far as to say billions of good men in this world that protect others, not just men, but women and children every single day from those people out there in the world that do bad things. And that goes for bad men as well as for bad women.
There's a quote within Islam: virtuous men are for virtuous women, and vice versa. Wicked men are for wicked women, and vice versa. And I see a lot of this dating red pill hate towards women. If you're attracting non-virtuous wicked women, that's because your intent is such. Going and having with a woman on the false premise of maybe one day you'll marry her when you know that you won't, that's a wicked thing to do. It's not healthy. It's damaging for her, and at a certain scale, it's damaging for the man as well. So I really do think, to all these red pillars out there who are complaining about the state of women, there are plenty of good women out there. There's an abundance of women who are traditional and caring and giving, looking for a traditional, caring, giving man. We have proof of that in this room, alhamdulillah, with our very healthy relationships. Within Islam, zina, outside of marriage, is graded as the same level of sin as. And I fully understand why. If you take a good woman who perhaps could be a good wife one day, and then you're very aggressive with her in the bedroom, show her the world, and she's no longer going to be a good, innocent, giving wife. She's always going to think about you, that first guy who gave her that intensity, gave her those experiences. Have you not potentially ruined her life if your intent is not to marry her? We need to be very careful of the, I don't want to say karma because it's not within Islam, but that's probably the easiest way to explain it. The negative karma that comes from spinning plates and wasting the time and innocence of good women is very serious stuff. Really, young men need to avoid spinning plates. All this red pill nonsense, they need to avoid it. Go and get X amount of bodies, they need to avoid that. It brings bad energy into your life. It's a really serious thing.
Women are incapable of being happy?
Why do you say that?
Because women with curly hair buy a straightener. Women with straight hair buy a curler. Women with dark hair dye it blonde. Women with blonde hair dye it dark. Women with big boobs, they get a breast reduction. Women with small boobs, they get implants. I mean, you can't make that species happy. If they're light skinned, they want to get darker. There is no making them happy. They got eyebrows. They shave them off and draw new ones on. There is no making that species happy. When the Almighty created woman, He created a weird animal.
Anything else?
No, that's it. I mean, I'm sure there's more.
Women want love and commitment. Men want and free labor. Women want a loving and involved father for her children. Men expect you to take care of the kids. Women want a partner. Men want a servant. Women will value love. If you ask a woman, do you value love over respect? Women are going to say love every time. And a man is going to choose respect over love, which in my opinion will tell you everything you need to know about that man immediately before you even start dating him. Because I feel like
100%.
if you love someone, the respect probably will kind of come as a default. So, but they're always
also
choosing
loving
respect.
someone is like a peer thing, right?
Yeah.
Respect assumes one of you is in a position to be
Clock
yeah.
it. Thank you.
Who do you think is more empathetic, men or women?
I feel a woman. Women.
What about you?
I think women.
Next question is, does lying to people align with empathy?
No.
What about you?
No.
No. Okay. What about you?
No.
No? And you?
Absolutely not.
Okay. So why, when women in general, if y'all out with y'all girls and she looking a little bit too big for that dress, right? In general, most women would lie and say, girl, you look good. So women lie to coddle people's emotions, and y'all would use it and mistake it for empathy. Y'all all agree lying doesn't align with empathy. And a lot of the things that women do, which I say is very empathetic, you're lying.
There's a thing going on right now where women really try to move the way men do. Yeah, stop doing that. There's a reason men are men and women are women. Women are the nurturers of a generation and men are the leaders and providers of one. So you cannot do the same things that men do because men and women are not equals. Not that one's better than the other, they each have different strengths. You sleeping with 4 different men at the same time and then wondering why your pH balance is off is very much giving confused. Very much, I don't respect myself. Very much, I'm in competition with men. Ladies, it's time for us to stop competing with our men and go back to being the women, okay? I think I speak for a lot of people when I say it's getting pretty obnoxious out there.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
I'm like the top player in your rotation, right?
Maybe if my starters went down with career-ending injuries, sure.
Your starters?
And my closers, the ones who can actually finish out the game.
Wait, you don't think I'm a starter or a closer?
Not quite.
Well, then what am I to you?
You're my little role player.
So I'm not getting like quality minutes.
It's 3 p.m. on the Tuesday afternoon.
So?
This isn't exactly the primetime slot.
Jess, I'm not like the bottom, right? Like I'm not like with the last pick in the casual hookup draft. Jess selects. Oh no. I'm Mr. Irrelevant. I'm last.
Role player was me being nice. You're like the undrafted free agent who'd be lucky to make the practice squad.
The practice squad? I can play. You gotta put me in, coach. Yes, I sometimes have trouble with the plays. If you just give me a couple of weeks with the playbook, I can figure this out. I promise, I can figure this out. You gotta give me one more shot, coach. You have to put me in. You have to.
Maybe you shouldn't pitch a casual relationship if your ego can't handle the truth.
Yeah, I'm starting to see that now, sweetheart, yeah. I think that's the part where I head out.
Baby, I promise y'all, I just left a lounge where wasn't nobody in there but single black women dancing by themselves. It got so bad, I saw one woman go get the cook, a man, to go and dance two-step with her. Let me tell y'all something, ladies, specifically black women, because that's my community, right? Man, not only are y'all going against the design of God, but because you're going against the design of God, baby, you looking desperate. You're thirsty for water, and God is telling you to go to the land of milk and honey where you forgive, heal, and love men again, but you're being hard-headed. Y'all can have that with y'all single behind. I'm going to the next spot. I'm going to the next spot.
I'm gonna ask for better friends. I really couldn't. Y'all are seriously the best. And I would like to thank Santos for making me realize that I deserve so much better. Because every single person here knows that you were trying to talk to some girl named Dennis about being friends with benefits. Like literally all of us have seen screenshots and screen recordings of everything you sent her, especially within the past few days, and how you were texting her and sending her videos. You literally sent her the same picture you sent me today.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, so in case you didn't figure it out, we're over and you can get the fuck out.
Get the fuck out!
Get out! And Edgar, if you knew, screw you, because I thought we were cool.
He did not know.
So you guys, you can get the fuck out. Edgar and Joanna, y'all can stay if you want to.
Okay.
You just you're a good girl.
Sylvia, I know you didn't just use my card to buy your baby daddy some groceries.
Yes, you know my baby daddy don't got that. Baby daddy don't got no friends, no family. He's single. I wasn't gonna let that man go hungry. Don't be questioning me about what I spend our money on.
Then you use my money to spend money on this dude. You don't even take care of the kids.
Okay, that is not his responsibility no more. You do know me and my kids live with you. Therefore, that's your job. My baby, shut the up, because I'm talking. I'm talking. Be quiet. No, my baby daddy is no longer obligated to do that. That is your job as a man. And as a man, what the do you need help for taking care of me and my kids? And don't question me about what I spend money on. Hello? Hello? I'm gonna this nigga hang up on me for calling.
I would pour into a man if he was already pouring into me and he was truly worth it, because it's the only right thing to do.
You know what? The difference is between the man and the woman is the man is paying for the first date. You're already expecting him to pay the bulk of the bills. So he's already willing to fully pour into you with not expecting you to pour into him in the same way. The ways that he's looking for you to pour into him is when he says something, you shut up and listen. And it should be that way if the man is adequate in doing his job.
So you stated that pretty much because he's leading, it's pretty much shut up and listen. That's what you're saying right now.
Women need to be told to shut up. Because y'all talk too much anyway. Yeah, you got to tell your girl to shut up. Matter of fact, everybody at home, if you were a chick, just randomly say, shut up. Even if she's not talking, tell her to shut up.
And, the guy was, he was, talking about Islam and how, you have some men out here just basically being irresponsible, going out there and just having sex with different women and turning them out in the bedroom. And that woman is now focused on you. She's tied to you. She's always thinking about you, right? I understand that from that perspective. And I definitely do get that, right? You need to be more responsible with your body and then understanding how you're affecting other women, right? But I do think even within Islam, within Christianity, it doesn't really matter what religion you have. The man might be doing wrong, but you also have to think about the woman that's doing wrong, right? When we go back to the garden, God dealt with Adam and he also dealt with Eve because it wasn't all on Adam. Right now, Adam tried to say, well, it was the woman that you gave me that did that. She made me do it. No, that's not going to fly. That's not going to fly. Right. And even if you remove religion out of the way and you just deal with, say, where there were two people in this situation and both of them ended up doing the wrong thing. Well, I only stole because she stole. As a man, you have to be accountable and men have to accept that. But as a woman, you also need to be accountable. So if you wanted to get turned out in the bedroom, that's because that's what you wanted. And it's not his fault that you decided to do that.
It is lame as to not have any aspirations outside of getting married. And I'll be the first one to say it, but these trad wives are losers.
No aspirations. No aspirations. For a lot of these women, it's raising the best kids they possibly can raise. So they're good people, function well in society, who treat others with kindness, who take accountability. And I'm not saying working moms are less than or may not have the same aspirations. There are good reasons for both sides of that. Now, is it realistic for a lot of women to be trad wives these days? No. Things are really expensive. Most couples, you're both going to be working, you're both going to be splitting the bills. Doesn't mean the women that choose that are losers. And what I've noticed is a lot of trad wives, they'll cook from scratch because they believe that's what's most healthy. They'll do things that are kind of a little bit more time consuming. They're actively working on stuff. They're actively learning stuff. They try to teach their kids more unique skills that maybe the average kid doesn't have. Does that make them losers? No, they just have different goals than you. What about wanting women to choose? Like, yes, there's risks. There's risks going both ways. I do think people should be careful. But to straight up call them losers when they're living their lives, living how they want to live, how they feel is most important? No, they're not hurting anyone.
Hey yo, simps turn women into narcissists. Social media created a pandemic called simping, treating women like royalty simply because they look good. It's caused many women to turn into narcissists. When many men make women feel like they are above them, these women start to view everyone else as beneath them. The power of being sought after changes their perspective on the world. It's what will happen to almost anyone who receives money, gifts, or a lifestyle for simply existing. They basically feel like a celebrity because simps treat them like one. All this does is feed their ego and make them feel like they could do nothing wrong. Even if they are the problem in their relationships, they are quick to leave. All the simps make them feel like they have tons of options, even if they're low quality. Narcissism causes people to have no respect for others. They lack empathy, feel entitled to getting what they want, have low genuine desire to be with people, and dehumanize them. Simping is such a problem that when there are men who don't do so, it confuses some women. It has become so normalized for them that they think there's something wrong with the man. They get upset or angry. They're like, where's my bare minimum treatment? When this man just has respect for himself. Narcissism is what happens when shallow praise makes people stop caring about character. When they are rewarded for their outer shell instead of their inner one. It makes people devalue important qualities like respect. Qualities that keep relationships healthy. Don't be a simp, guys. Watch my YouTube for more. Drizzle.
If you hate women so much, why don't you just date men?
I never said I hate women.
You said women deserve less. Isn't that hating them? Why don't you just date men?
Number one, I don't hate women. And I like how you immediately came to that conclusion. I think if anything, we need to give women less because we care about them. Women want a guy that is attractive. And attraction a lot of times comes from you being dominant and assertive and not necessarily listening to everything that she wants. And you're being a boss. So I think you're actually doing her a service by making her work for your validation, your attention as a man.
That's just your preference. I don't know how many women you've met like that, but, like, not all women are the same.
The reality is most women don't want to be in a relationship with a guy who isn't competent, leadership traits, attractive, tall, good shape, etc. Women want a guy
That's
that
what
has
you
his stuff
want in a
together.
man. Why do you keep describing what women want in a man? Like, you're just...
Because it's a fact.
It's
biological
not a fact. You're describing what you want in men.
Okay, good one. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of been shown throughout time that women have a pretty narrow attraction trigger base of what they like in men.
And you have a narrow attraction trigger base, too. You just want women with 0 body counts and all that.
Okay. That's not what I said. I think you're misrepresenting my position, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you like men.
Okay, good one.
The older I get, the more age gap dating disgusts me, particularly when the man is older.
All these women online constantly crying about age gap, saying things like, men only date younger women because they're easier to manipulate. Or men only date younger women because they can't get women their own age. Or that's like saying men only drive Lamborghinis because they can't afford a Honda Civic. Why don't I date women my own age? I don't know. Why don't you date men your own height? Why don't you date men that make less money than you? If it was a stock, it would be plummeting after 24. By 40, it's already lost 80% of peak value. By 50, it's basically a penny stock. Unfortunately for us, we live in a world where women's feelings matter more than the truth. Now the dating market is overinflated due to hoflation. Hoflation is where men are expected to pay 3 times more than their grandfathers did for women 3 times worse than their grandmothers. No wonder women would rather choose the bear. After 24, they're getting mauled in a bear market.
So I've been trying to like stay away from this topic because like I know it could be like kind of controversial and like a little bit debatable, but like a lot of me doesn't care, but I feel like I need to put this out for women who do. Dating as a single mom is just not even close to anywhere near as bad as social media makes it seem. And I think everyone's experience is subjective because I can only really speak on mine, and mine's have just been fine. Me having a child has not stopped me from dating one, and it has not stopped me from dating good men at that. So like I just want to start off with that. Secondly, I think that the loud minority on social media is just not worth paying attention to. If you're dating someone who doesn't want to date you because you are a single mom, literally you can, and then go meet your man. Like, I love it here, and I just don't care. My only thing is if you're cool enough to meet my son. He's funnier than me. He's funnier than me. Like I said, I think social media has done like a really good job at fear-mongering people to think that dating a single mom is like so not worth it. And let me tell you this, I don't care. Any guy that I've dated, they don't care, and we still be having an amazing time. So I just want my women to change your belief system. If you're dealing with someone who does not want to be there or be with you because you have a kid, you can also find another man who doesn't care. The social media is not a real place. Like, it's not a real place. Get out of your head.
So any independent woman who sees this, you're probably going to understand where I'm coming from. So I've been single for almost 2 years now, and I've been abstinent for 17 months. So I was telling my mom the other day how like, oh, I kind of miss having a partner. Like, I kind of feel like I'm ready to start liking someone again. But then I sat there and I really thought, I'm like, but what would really change in my life? Like, what do I really need a man for? I have my own car, my own job, my own apartment, my own money. I'm very peaceful. I don't need, which is why I've been abstinent for so long. I feel like if I had a man in my life right now, they could potentially disturb my peace. They would cause me anxiety. They would cause me stress. You're independent, and the older you get, you're kind of like, what am I losing being single? And I hate to say that, but it's true. And don't get me wrong, since I've been single, I have met a few good men. However, they're always out of state. I'm from Philly. If I had a man like that in my life, that was like a godly man, He prays, he can teach me stuff, he can bring me company, we both care about our peace and we're communicative, then I'll be like, I would need a man. Like not need a man. I would never need a man. But then if I had a like that around me, then I'll be like, all right, yeah, I get it. I want that. But I don't. So what am I missing? Like, I don't even know.
Even having a good man is going to cost you something, and that's going to be amplified if you live with him. Because what you have to realize is that men are raised in a world where they believe that women are to serve them, even if they are good. He can be kind, he can be helpful, he can be a provider, but he's still going to have the expectation that you manage that home and that you assist with managing and regulating his emotions. So does women. Because then you're not just his partner. You become his manager, you become the planner. That is that invisible labor. That is that emotional labor, that physical labor, that financial labor, that spiritual labor that oftentimes you don't even realize you're putting into living in this household with this man. This isn't about hating men. This is about how a woman's peace grows differently when her home answers only to her. A man-free home is not anti-love. It's choosing peace over performance.
Guys do go through it too, you know. They're dealing with a lot of shit. They just don't get up and complain and talk about it the way that women do all the time.
You know, a wise man once said, don't save her, she don't want to be saved. And I didn't know how right he was until I started posting female-centered content online. Because here I am, a woman, talking to women, about the things that we can work on and get better at and grow. So that way we can live these amazing lives that we want to live. And a lot of the girlies just don't want to hear it. And that is disappointing, you know, because in order to enjoy my content, you do have to be a certain type of woman. That's fair. You have to be a woman that takes accountability for her actions. Doesn't say, he made me feel this way, she made me feel this way, they made me crash out. No. We take accountability over here. You also have to be an honest woman, a woman who is honest with herself about, here's where I went wrong in the situation. Here's where I could have cut it off before it even got to as bad as it was. And you also have to be a woman that is confident enough to say what she thinks, what she feels about the world, even if none of the rest of the girlies agree. That is such a special type of woman. I love the women in my audience down. I just wish there were more of us. I really do.
And, you know, you listen to the ignorance of these modern women. One thing that she said, because she said a lot of stupid stuff, to be honest. She said, you know, women will choose love over respect every time. But men would choose respect over love. And that should tell you. And the woman, there's another woman in the background talking about, yeah. Because, you know, I feel like, and there you go with feeling. And that's not a fact. Oh, I feel like, you know, and this is why, you know, we continue to talk about and talk against and speak against like the red pill. And I'm not trying to sit out here and be a proponent of it and just like take it. Oh man, the red pill is great. Oh man, there's nothing that people say that's wrong. There's nothing that I say that's wrong. I'm not trying to say that, right? Because there's a lot of dumb stuff that I say. You're like, man, what are you talking about? Right? So I get it. But what I'm saying is, when they went to go say, well, you know, if they choose respect over love, that just tells you, because I feel like if you love somebody, then the respect is probably bingo. That's the word right there. Probably. Then the respect is probably going to be there a lot of times. No, it's not. Love is an emotion. Respect is a constant. If I respect you, respect deals with boundaries. I don't do this because I respect him. But you might love somebody. You might, you know, have the passion for somebody, right? Or maybe not even bad, because love, it has different facets of it. You know, you have the passionate love, lust, and then, you know, agape, which is more of like a love. Like it's you have unconditional love. You have different phases of it, right? Different facets of love, right? But it's still an emotion. And you go through, and this is why marriage is a commitment, because sometimes you're not going to feel like you love that person, but you have to stay there. And when you don't love something at that specific moment, then you respect it. You know, my husband made me mad or my wife made me mad, but I respect the commitment. So you can you cannot love that person at that point in time, but I respect him. So I'm not going to do that right now. I don't really love him right now, but because I respect him, I'm not going to pop off at the mouth. You got to be quiet. Got to sit down and be taught.
I want everyone to know that I was at this church event for singles and like singleness and like how to learn how to date, etc. And this was like the final session, and I'm walking out with this guy that I thought was cute, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna say something. So I said, hey, I really like your mustache. And he looked at me, he said thank you, and then we continued to walk in the same direction for 3 minutes, and he said nothing else. So I am going to sit the next couple plays out and just really marinate on how that made me feel.
Two things here. Number one, you probably made that guy's year because men do not get compliments. However, secondly, men are typically not hit on, and they do not connect the dots even through a compliment. They will not assume that you're interested in dating them just because you've given him a compliment about something. Because it's not clear, he doesn't want to make any assumptions because he doesn't want to make you uncomfortable. He has already received something very nice from you, and he doesn't want to ruin that. The reality is, ladies, that you have to be crystal clear. Like, you actually have to say the words that you're interested in him, that you would love to, see him outside of the event that you've met him at, and then leave it up to him, to take your number and then to contact you.
You shouldn't have told men to stop approaching then. Men are now respecting our boundaries by staying away from us. And it's so funny because I always see women making videos about the male loneliness epidemic. Notice I said women, because I've never seen a man really making a video about that. And now women want men to approach again. Kind of seems like women might be lonely. A lot of men are perfectly happy being single. They're out hanging out with their friends, doing things they enjoy, and they have hobbies because women have taken away way too much peace. And why don't women approach? How hard is it to give a man your phone number? Or are you scared? Women have never acknowledged the sacrifice men have made by being the ones approaching, potentially getting in trouble for harassing her, or called out, or made fun of, or filmed and posted. But women will happily demand that men start approaching again? How about you see what it's like to be a man and approach men? Oh wait, men are a lot nicer when they reject women. Maybe women should start encouraging other women to treat men with respect and decline politely if you're not interested, not play weird games or use men for free meals. And then maybe, just maybe, men might consider approaching us again.
Men don't approach women anymore. Let's talk about why. Day 17 of posting dating advice for single dads until I hit 10,000 followers. You have lost the courage to go and approach a woman in the wild because it can be a bit daunting to go and approach a stranger, introduce yourself, strike up a conversation. There could be rejection, dismissal, maybe even anger. It's uncomfortable to risk yourself by going up to a stranger, and you are very much out of practice. Do you remember in your 20s when the only way to meet someone was to go up to them and risk rejection and get rejected? Then brush yourself off and try again another day. So, get that courage out, because honestly, what have you got to lose except for a slightly dented ego? If you like this kind of thing, hit follow.
This is actually something so frustrating to men because they hold themselves back from approaching women since they've been told time and time again that women don't want to be approached. But then here's these women wondering why men aren't approaching them while they're looking like they are having the worst time ever. Which is so frustrating because it feels like a game and meeting new people is tough enough. Especially when you don't want this to be the thing that's eliminating potentially good partners. I mean, there's already enough crazies out there, which is why I always recommend to men to do a public data check on a trusted website like publicdatacheck.com before pursuing the woman that you're interested in, because it can save you from wasting a lot of your time and effort.
Women attack men when they're happy.
Women attack men when men are happy?
Mm-hmm.
So wait, why do women do that?
Because happiness and power comes together in a man's body. And the power is scary. It terrifies us. Especially if we don't feel connected to you. Because we're afraid you'll use it against us. If we feel connected to you, then we're happy you're happy. If we don't, it's scary. And so we have to diminish the power. So we will attack them when they're happy. They come home, they caught a big fish or whatever it was they did. If it wasn't something that I did that gave you that feeling, then that's a problem.
Yeah, you're more excited to go out with your friends.
That's supposed to make you happy.
Men don't need women. Women need men. Men could survive without women. If all the women disappeared tomorrow, men would be fine outside of reproduction. If tomorrow they made artificial wombs, what would they need a woman for? Who's a better companion, men or women? So men built the world. All the hard jobs are done by men.
Mm-hmm.
If men disappeared tomorrow, society would collapse. Men built the world that we complain about.
Arguably, one of the driving forces for men doing what they do is women.
What I'm saying is men could survive without women. Because men can be alone, women can't. Women are social beings, and men don't. You don't see women going out to the woods and just roughing it. That's a man thing.
Women don't listen to men. Women think that men were created to serve them. So if you ain't serving them, they don't want to hear nothing you got to say, because women want men to be women. Women want society to transform a male into a female. Women hate women. Women hate each other. But they want to get a man and then make him embody all of the characteristics of a woman.
I'm sorry, are we genuinely asking who's more when catching their partner cheating, men or women? Is this even a question? I'll take women for like 10,000, Alex. Women aren't held accountable the same way that men are, because they don't view women's behavior the same as men's. A man will slap a woman for cheating and everybody's like, there is no excuse for hitting a woman. But then a woman will slap her man when caught cheating and everyone's like, yes, you go, girl. These types of boundaries and social expectations that we have set up, they're full of double standards. Women are okay with double standards. Not all women, I'm generalizing there, but you know what I mean. There are a lot of women that are okay with double standards as long as it's not projected onto them. If you want to talk about who cheats more, I'm sorry, anybody who says men, you might just be silly. You might have been dropped on your head as a child, you fucking Brussels sprout, because I'm pretty sure there was an equal amount of men and women on Maury, and guess what? Men were always not the father. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you catch your woman cheating, don't put your hands on her. Just put Nair in her shampoo, because if that wants to act like Jada Pinkett Smith so bad, she can look like her too.
There's no benefit for marriage for men today. Women do not in general make men's lives better, and we are the lucky ones to marry, not men being lucky to marry us. Women do not deserve princess treatment. You could maybe argue that women deserve princess treatment that are 22-year-old in-shape virgins without debt and no tattoos. But that's few and far between. That's less than 1% of women. So by and large, women do not deserve princess treatment. How many women are 22-year-olds in-shape virgins that are going to have 4+ kids? They know how to cook and serve their husband. I've interviewed 1,000 women and I could count maybe 5. And again, this doesn't mean bad person, but it does mean that men are overpaying. This is called poflation, all right? And even the 22-year-old debt-free virgins will never have the same amount of value in a relationship as high-value men. High-value men make the rules of the marketplace, and you will never offer as much as they do. There's no benefit for marriage for men today. Women do not in general make men's lives better, and we are the lucky ones to marry, not men being lucky to marry us. Women do not deserve princess treatment. You could maybe argue that women deserve princess treatment that are 22-year-old in-shape virgins without debt and no tattoos. But that's few and far between. That's less than 1%.
It's so interesting to me that men want to be the prize, or they think that they are the prize. You feminine. Who told you your was good? Who said your lip gloss was popping? You're a man. You should want to win the prize. That's your gender role. You're not even destined or designed to be the prize. So what are we talking about? And when you really break it down, it's so disturbing how these men rather compete with women than to work on themselves as men. Okay. You got it, girly pop. You guys really have lost the plot. And you guys have brainwashed yourselves into thinking you're bigger than the program. The program being that women are God's gift to earth. God's gift to a man at that. So before y'all get up on here and try to pop your in the comment section, take a look down in your pants. I know it might not be anything grand or exciting, but it's what you have. Okay? So let's remember that and let's act accordingly. Okay? Okay. I love you guys so much. Bye.
And I do appreciate what Lynn was saying when she was, kind of talking about, basically acting like you have some sense, and then maybe men will start or consider trying to approach us again. I don't mean for women to be at the behest of men, like, oh, will you please consider approaching me now if I do everything that you want me to do? I don't want it to be ever seen like that. But what I do want to say, and what I do want women to understand, is that you treat men in such a way that men are just turned off by you. And then you're wondering why they don't approach. We're right back to you not respecting them and you trying to humiliate them.
Would you rather be a side chick to an NBA player or a wife to an average man?
Side chick. For sure, I'm married to an average man. You get all the fun, good dinners, nice hotels.
In America, the question that women ask is, how can I get as much stuff with as humanly possible? Now, what is it called when you exchange material goods for? Exactly. We're turning our young people into prostitutes, into Johns. Hey, I'll pay your rent. Hey, I'll buy you this, I'll buy you that, I'll buy you a handbag in exchange for sex. A lot of guys will just say, hey, level up. Hey, just get richer. But the problem is there's never a limit. There's never enough. But imagine this girl meets like a good-hearted NBA player, doesn't cheat on her, and is like, hey, I want to marry you. You make me my wife. This is her dream. I promise you, in 6 months, she's gonna be like, I don't know, you're like the third highest earning guy on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Like, I want to be dating somebody in the New York Knicks. The solution to this is like, stop dating American women. She probably has a grandma that's like this woman, or she has a coworker that's like this woman. People all around her that are constantly pushing her to be the worst version of herself. Don't do it. Just go out of America, find a good girl, and get married to her. And if you want to know how, the link in the bio.
There's a lot of men in relationships right now that are dealing with women who never grew up because they expected to be treated like a princess the entire time, and they were actually looking for a father figure, not a partner. So a lot of these men have adapted themselves and gaslit themselves into happiness, thinking that this is the best that they can do. And the reality is that these types of men will spend hours in the gym. They will spend hours playing video games. They might even pick up a drinking habit or a smoking habit to cope with the fact that they have a literal child that they are married to, in hopes of gaining some kind of adulthood within their marriage. These are the same types of men that eventually are gaslit into believing that they are the problem, that they need to go to therapy. These men will actually sit in therapy believing that they are the problem, when really the real problem is that they have women that are childlike and children that want a father, not a partner, while simultaneously hoping one day that she grows up into a woman that knows how to take care of herself, take care of a family, and he will stick it out with her because he loves her unconditionally, while simultaneously being miserable. Okay, bye.
The greatest threat to women is men. If men as a group were inherently harmful, then there would be no men defending women from other men.
Yeah,
Have you heard of a
men get a lot of flack, but I think when it comes to acts of bravery, acts of heroism, men are very much overrepresented there. When you see some natural disaster, you look at the flooding that happened in Texas, it's a man carrying some old grandma. It's a man going into the rushing waters and grabbing a dog, or a man saving kids, or a man saving women. You need to balance your men are so horrible in all these ways. What about male bravery? What about male courage? What about I don't know why you're lying. Like almost all the vast majority of acts of bravery and courage and life-saving and emergency saving, it's men. Where's the gratitude there? What about just the plumbers? I mean, literally, no pun intended, would hit the fan if we didn't have people, it's almost men, who do the dirty, dangerous, gross, hazardous jobs. When it's snowstorming and there's a catastrophic breakdown in the power grid failure or utility pole collapses or whatever, it's not some 5'2" woman going out at 3 a.m. in the snow, in the rain, in the hazard. It's a man who's going to get that back on. And there's a complete lack of gratefulness for the sacrifices men make and how men really, you don't like to hear it. I get it. You don't like to hear it.
Do men really love peace or just women who won't challenge them?
I think men want peace and women have to learn how to challenge.
Break that down. I don't understand.
I think that a lot of women challenge men in a way that is not effective or conducive to the result that they want. I think a lot of women struggle to regulate their own emotion, and because they're dysregulated, they're lashing out and reactive instead of responding. Whereas a woman that is just challenging, I think I challenge Brock all the time. And I'm not saying that it's the right way. I'm just saying this is a way that works for us. But the way that I challenge him is, may I share something with you? Or can I ask you a question? Or do you have time for a quick, whatever it could possibly be? And sometimes that comes with a challenge, and sometimes it comes with a goofy question, and sometimes it comes with love, and sometimes, it's all of the different things, but none of it comes with condescension. None of it comes with disrespect. None of it comes loud or in a crazy tone, or when I start doing it doesn't come with that. I feel like women get into their emotions and they forget who they're talking to. Which brings me to this point, and I saw this video and I was like, dang, that's so deep. Why is it that we will go to work and we will be the best person we could possibly be for strangers, but then we come home and we treat the person we love the most like crap? We don't talk to them all day. We don't have patience anymore. We don't have any energy for them. But when you were just at work, you were smiling so hard for Tom, hand high-fiving, hugging, laughing, smiling, but you get home and it's like, man, I just don't feel like today. We have to be mindful of who we are talking to. That person that's in the house with you is that person that you should value the most. And sometimes that's hard, by the way. That's just the reality of it. But that's the work. Relationships be teaching, man. Let me tell you.
Who do you think is more of the issue nowadays when it comes to dating and relationships, men or women?
Both. I think it's single moms.
What?
I think single moms
that wasn't a choice.
Daughters to be so hard that men don't want them. And I think they're raising sons to be so soft that women don't want them. And so now we have a cycle of kids where nobody wants to date each other because nothing feels real. And I think it goes back to being responsible with our bodies. If we would stop getting pregnant by bums that we don't like, if we would stop getting pregnant by Ray Ray and Pookie down the street, everything would change. I really, in my heart of hearts, believe that if we would take responsibility, we could better raise children, not inside of our own survival mode, not inside of we need to grow up and now the kids are learning as we grow up. It's literally, I'm powerfully choosing to bring you into this world, and I can teach you how to be a young, soft woman, little girl, and a man can teach a boy how to be a man. Because contrary to popular belief, a woman cannot teach a man how to be a man. You cannot. It cannot happen. It will not happen. It does not happen. And we've seen it again and again and again. And they say men are lacking leadership. Whose fault do you think that is? There's no men in the household.
What's your body count?
It's got to be like 11. 34, I believe.
34. Okay.
Yeah, I was just somewhere in the 30s. Sure. I had a very blackout point of my life from 19 to 21. Yeah. I was in abusive relationships where they would bring me places to have with people without telling me.
Wow.
Yeah.
14.
Okay. What about you?
No comment. I knew this was going to be a question, so I actually sat with a calculator.
No.
Yeah.
Do you have a list?
In my head, but I'm pansexual, so are we counting?
Oh my God.
Just how many
79 was the number total. 79 total.
A lot of assumptions.
13.
I'm just gonna say 10 and up because my mom might be watching.
Give us a range.
Wait, 10 and up.
How about we say 30 and up?
Okay.
Ooh.
One.
Multiply it by 3, and that's the real number.
Oh, dear Lord.
Alex Stein, Pimp on a Blimp.
Yeah,
what's your body count?
I would say this. It's a lot because I'm a badass that is a dog, but I do think like meaningless is like so bad for you, and like
I 100%.
I have had that, and it's not something I'd encourage other people to have. So yeah, but no, I've got that dog in me. I mean, yeah, man.
Speaking of,
it's funny because like I didn't disappear because I fell off.
I disappeared because I needed to get my mind right and tighten my spirit back up. And sometimes as a man, right, you gotta cut the world off. You need to shut down all the noise and just lock the in. You know what I'm saying? They want to be seen so bad. Like they want applause, they want attention, validation, but nobody want to sit down and just rebuild. It's impossible to spell solid without solitude. How you know if you're solid if you've never had to sit with yourself long enough to face your own thoughts? Like you don't know. You ain't never had to sit in 23-1. You never survived solitary confinement. Sometimes the only way to elevate is to take a step back and just like read your life. You know what I'm saying?
Like every day I wake up just mad about something, just mad, just thinking about crazy stuff, right? But I'd be like, the only way like my life could change and the world soften up if I change like how I think and how I'm vibing. Cause like, you ain't gonna get no good fruit off a bad tree, you know? And like, a good tree can only produce good fruit.
Confession time. In all honesty, that guy that I in Sacramento last week, I can't answer his FaceTimes because I'm scared to commit, and that's a confession. I don't want to leave the streets, even if they're good men, and that's my confession. And they're gonna hate me online, but like, is it my fault? Like, I don't think so. Like, God, we're cool girls. We can.
Yet another example of how women don't want the good guy. There's so many women out there that say, I want a guy that's nice, he's kind, he's a gentleman, but the reality is, the large majority of girls, especially when they're young and they're immature, they want the guy that's kind of a they want a guy that just wants to have fun. No matter how good you are, a girl will not commit to you solely off that. She'll commit to you when you can give her fun, when you can give her entertainment, when you can provide a lifestyle that's opportunistic for her. And I think a lot of men fail to realize this. They think that just by being nice, I'm going to get her. Very wrong.
And, you know, this is what we get. You know, this is the type of stupid stuff that we get from our older women. When somebody says, hey, would you rather date an NBA player or would you rather date an average man, you know, that actually cares about you? Oh, wow. And it's almost like they don't understand what they're being set up for because they keep on saying stupid stuff. And you're like, well, I would definitely pick the NBA player. Would you say that? Why would you say that? Why? You gotta know. You got, well, maybe this is a trick. Maybe I should pick something else. Maybe I shouldn't be saying stuff like that. But modern women, they don't even think of, and number one, number two, they be saying it online. So when your husband or somebody else that you know, you run across, they be like, hey man, your wife said this. And when your husband's acting weird around you, you want to know why. It's because you're an idiot.